Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for tuning in. Guess what? Today is the last day of our series. Oh yes, this is the last episode of the My Story series. Guys, it's been quite a journey. Yo, I'll explain to you what I mean by that shortly. But thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for tuning in every week and for the support that you've been giving me so far. I really appreciate it. Really do. And yeah, without wasting any further time, let's get right into today's episode. Today's episode is gonna be more of a reflection. I'll be looking into different things that I've already shared with you guys, and also the experience of putting myself out there. How was it? Yo, guys, it was tough. Lola, I remember first time when I posted the first episode actually. I experienced so much anxiety. I mean, recording it was nice. I was talking about what I know because it's my story, right? And I'm the one who can tell it better than anyone else. So I really had fun narrating my story, recording, Mara came the time when I had to publish it. I scheduled, because I usually schedule my videos on YouTube to go public at a certain time. So I did that. Cool. And then as the time was approaching for the video to go public, yo, like anxiety. Yo, my heart rate started increasing. Hey, bro, what's happening? I was like, guys, do I really have to do this? Do I really have to put myself out there, be vulnerable, and tell the world about my life? Is it really necessary? And I remember calling my sister TB, yo, Miguel, hey, Dija Fati Papa, yo. And I told her about all the feelings and emotions that I was experiencing at that time. And she tried to calm me down. She was like, no girl, it's gonna be alright, it's gonna be fine, just take a deep breath. Yeah, she really tried to calm me down and it helped. So eventually the video went public and there was no turning back.
And
every time when I would experience this anxiety, I would always have to go back and think about the why. Why did I start this series in the first place? I mean, no one asked me to do it. I voluntarily decided to do it. So I constantly had to think about it, go back to square one where it all started. Why did I do this? And then I remembered, well, no man, the reason why I did this in the first place was because, one, yes, it's my birth month. March is my birth month, and I just wanted to spend this month reflecting on my life, the things that I've gone through in my life, the things that have contributed into shaping the person that you see today, and just also cultivating the spirit of gratitude, being grateful to God for allowing me to walk this journey until this far. Because I believe for a life is a precious gift from God, and when you have been given an opportunity to see another year, another chapter in your life, honestly, it's a blessing. And so that's why I decided that, you know what, this year I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. I'm just gonna spend this month reflecting and being grateful for all that I've had to go through in life. Good and bad things, painful and sweet things. and just be grateful and share these moments with you guys so as to connect with you, build a stronger connection with you. Yeah, connect on a deeper level, I guess. And remembering the why kept me going. It really gave me that oomph, it really gave me those positive vibes to say, girl, you gotta sit down, put the camera in front of you and record. The story continues. I mean, you have to finish what you started. Yeah, so that's what I have experienced, guys, over the past few weeks. Yes, I had to show up even when I didn't feel like it. I had to keep the fire burning. I had to continue telling the story, So, yeah, that has been my experience on opening up, being vulnerable, and putting myself out there. Yeah, but I'm actually very grateful that I did it. It's so liberating because I think I've mentioned this before in the first video that I believe so much in the power of storytelling, and personally I draw inspiration from other people's authentic stories. I get so much inspiration when other people tell their authentic stories, be it experiencing painful things and drawing important lessons from those experiences, or experiencing beautiful things in life. I just get so much inspiration from other people's stories. That's why I also thought it would be good for me to also share mine. I mean, it's my story after all, and if I don't tell it, no one else will tell it. And I also believe that there's a reason why I had to go through the things that I've gone through in life. And if I don't accept and embrace the things that have happened in my life, the things that have come to form a part of my story, I don't know, I kind of look at it as being a sign of ungratefulness. I don't know. I mean, we are different after all, and we look at things differently. We look at life differently. So that's how I look at it. Yeah. So now we're gonna move on into the next segment of the video. But before I do that, I just want you guys to take a few moments and just type in the chat and say maybe one or two things that shook you about my story. It can be from episode number 1, like part 1, 2, 3, or 4. Anything that shook you, or maybe that kind of surprised you, something that you didn't know about me and you only found out about it on this platform. What is it? Please take a moment and just type it out. Please. I personally believe that every experience comes with a lesson. Whether it's a good experience or a bad one, I believe it comes with a lesson. And my experiences have also come with different lessons. So there's quite a number of lessons that I've learned along the way. And because of the nature of my experiences, I've also had to develop certain qualities and skills. And I'm just gonna share a few of them. Number 1, my experiences have taught me to be a hard worker. If you guys remember, in episode number 1, I shared a little bit about my upbringing, that things were not smooth, and I always had that thing in my heart to say, you know what, I'm gonna work very hard in order to change the situation at home. So the circumstances at home really pushed me to work hard, and I never let go of that quality. So I've always been a hard worker from an early age. And sometimes I ask myself, Hori, what if things were different? What if things were smooth and butter? Would I still be a hard worker? I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure.
Maybe maybe not.
And the second lesson is the importance of trusting God. This one I learned it in my undergraduate years, particularly when I was doing first year. Remember, I shared this in episode 2, part 2. That's when I shared about my experiences at varsity, how first year showed me flames, and how trusting in God, putting my faith in God, really helped me to achieve the things that I was able to achieve. I was able to pass my test, which was a determining factor of whether I was going to have to repeat my first year or continue and do my second year. So that experience really reinforced the importance of trusting in God, and it's something that I always try to practice in my daily life, because sometimes life gets hard. It gets really hard, and you tend to doubt, lack faith and all of that. And in addition to that, one of my favorite verses found in Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6, it says that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your paths. So in times of doubt, in times when my faith is shaky, and I'm asking myself questions like, am I gonna make it? What's gonna happen? I always go back to these words: trust in the Lord with all your heart. And there's a promise that if you do that, God will direct your paths. So yes, that's the second lesson. The third one is the importance of living in the moment. This one I learned it the hard way. It was after completing my undergraduate degree, my first degree, when I actually realized, man, yes, I have this thing that I've been working so hard to get, that is my degree certificate. But then I felt like I didn't give myself enough time to really experience being a university student. I felt like my focus was always on the end goal, graduating, getting the certificate and all of that. But I never really made use of the opportunities that were around me in order to grow as an individual in different areas of my life and to network. Of course I did, but I feel like I could have done better. And from that moment, I learned, yes, it is important, guys, to live in the moment, because now is the only time that we have. Yes, we can hope for the future, we can wish and dream for tomorrow, but the only time that we have is now. Today is the only time that we have. So while we still can, while we still have the energy, while we're still in good health, let us make use of the time that we have. Let us learn to be present, live in the moment, appreciate the people that you have around you, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. Okay, so that's one thing that I've learned, and I'm always trying to practice this in my life because it is so vital. And then the fourth lesson that I learned is that life is very seasonal. Sometimes it's winter, sometimes it's summer, sometimes it's spring, sometimes it's autumn. All these seasons are important, and I know we always want to experience spring and summer where everything is beautiful and running smoothly, it's all sunshine and roses. But unfortunately, that's not how life works. I guess the important thing is to learn to embrace each and every season that we experience in our lives. I like how Nsundeni, the author of Today's To Do, a book that I read a couple of years ago, I like how he puts it. He says, every phase of life has its own demons and angels, meaning that it has its own good and bad things. What is important is for us to learn to embrace both, because it is through embracing both that we get to learn. And sometimes even the bad things that happen in our lives, they really shape us. They really strengthen our characters. They really refine and sharpen us into becoming
better versions of ourselves.
And lastly, the fifth lesson that I learned is just how important it is to invest time in personal growth, which is what I covered last week. Yes, I shared with you guys my experience when I moved to Cape Town, how I experienced self-doubt and insecurities, and how I started embarking on a new journey that I didn't even know existed, and that's personal mastery. Investing time in working on yourself, your abilities, your skills and talents, so that you become better and excel in your craft. Oh yeah? Oh yes! Yeah, so those are my 5 lessons. Of course, there are many other things that I've learned along the way, but for the purpose of this video, I'll just share 5. Yes! And you guys, yeah, the video is becoming long and long, I know, but please watch until the end. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So in addition to the lessons that I've learned, the qualities that I've had to develop, and the skills that I acquired over the years through my experiences, something special also happened in my life.
And that is
being passionate about helping other people. Oh yes, this is how I put it. As I was going through these things, a seed was planted in my heart. I was not aware, as all of these were happening, I was not aware that there was a seed being planted. And yeah, some of these experiences watered the seed, and it became a seedling, and this seedling started growing and becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. My passion for serving other people has grown over the years, has become bigger and bigger over the years. And there is one area in particular that I want to focus on right now. So because of my experiences in high school and transitioning to varsity, I've always had this burden in my heart to go back and help. Why? Because I'm very much aware of the challenges that are faced by those who come from disadvantaged communities, because I am from there myself, so I am aware of the struggles. I know that the struggle is real, and also I've walked the path before, so I know exactly what it is. I almost said something. So it has always been my desire to open an organization that will specifically focus on youth from townships and rural areas that do not have access to resources that could help them advance in life, succeed in life, and be the light in the midst of darkness, be the hope in the midst of hopelessness. And yeah, it has always been here for, I don't know how many years now, it's been long. And then fast forward, I moved to Cape Town and I met someone, a good friend of mine, Morage, whom we share the same passion. Yes, he's also from Kwakwa, and our stories are kind of similar, and both of us have always wanted to do this. So we're like, you know what? I mean, it's not a coincidence that we are meeting here and we happen to both have this desire to help others. Why don't we do something together? And like, for sure, why not? Let's do this. Yes. So yeah, guys, long story short, we decided to start an organization. The name of the organization is Seeds of Greatness. Seeds of Greatness. And the main purpose of the organization is to work with young people, especially those who are from disadvantaged backgrounds, and just help them to tap into their potential and achieve great things, because we believe for each and every one of us has a great potential within us to do great things, you know. And sometimes because of the circumstances that we find ourselves in, it can be very discouraging, you know. Not only that, but sometimes you might not even be aware of what you are capable of, and you need someone to remind you of what you are capable of achieving. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to see people living and dying without really tapping into that which God has planted within them. Yeah, so that's the main aim of the organization, honestly. But then I won't go into too much detail here because the video is already long. But we have mapped out everything: vision, mission, objectives, and so forth. And the good news, guys, the good news is that the organization has been officially registered. Yes, it's an NPO, non-profit organization, and it's been officially registered. Yo, we've been working so hard to get to where we are right now, and I'm so happy. I'm really excited, and we'll be launching it very soon. Oh yes, in the next coming months we are planning to launch this baby you know, and we're really excited, and we can't wait to see amazing things that will be done by SOG in the next coming years. So I'll let you guys know once the date has been finalized for the launch, so that you guys can tell your cousins, your nephews, your nieces, you know, hooray, there is something that can help you here. Yay! You guys, it's been a long video, but thank you so much for sticking around until this far. And I really hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the series and you got to know me better. Oh yeah! Alrighty, just before I go, I'd like to make a request. Could you guys please just comment in the section below and tell me what stood out for you from this series? What's one thing that you enjoyed about this series, or maybe it can be something that you learned from this series? Just one. I would really appreciate it. I would really love to hear from you. Cool! That's it from me for today, ladies and gents. Until next time, please keep well, keep safe, and keep healthy.